Mic test, mic test. First, before we start the introductions, let's make sure that people can actually hear us. People at the chat, if you can tell us if you can hear us, if the sound is good, if I'm too loud, too low, or not at all, that will be amazing. Just to be sure I'm not talking to the walls for the first 20 minutes. Wait for it. Okay, this is worrisome because I'm actually waiting for people to say, yeah, we can hear you, but if they can hear us, okay, they can hear.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today it's Saturday, December the 2nd of 2023. This is the Evan Studios weekly podcast, not so weekly lately. I'm your host Stark, and with me, for the first time in a very long time, we have our co-host Isaac.
Hi everyone.
Who decided to make us a visit for the last podcast of the year, and boy oh boy, we are excited for this one. First of all, a very fast roll call for everyone in the chat. Thank you for being with us at this very early time. I know, especially for people in some countries, it's even exceptionally early, especially in like countries like United States and whatnot, where it's like probably 5 a.m.
Why are we doing the podcast at this hour?
It had to be early somewhere.
What?
Ariane, Sorano, Fossern, Emirel, Oscar. Oscar is new here, I think. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast live, and everyone else that is not talking in the chat, and everyone else that is going to watch the podcast on the VOD. Thanks for joining us. Today we want to talk about pretty much everything that happened in 2023 and what's the plans for 2024 and the rest of 2023, obviously. So we are going to do this. Actually, I was going to do this by date, which will have a start in Fleeting Iris. We can actually do that. People are probably more worried about the Christmas patch and the shoulder patch, yes. But let's start with the obvious. For Fleeting Iris, there's quite a few news. Isaac currently has a version in his hands which is changing pretty much a lot of typos, fixing a few bugs, and adding the latest scripts that we have, the message log script, and hopefully we can also add the new it's 4:20 a.m. and you have to make me wash my dishes right now. Oh, because he
right.
he washes his dishes while listening to the podcast. It's 1 p.m. in Turkey. Yeah, well, that's much better. First of all, the reason why I decided to make the podcast is because I wanted to do the podcast early in December, and I had to pick like a weekend to be able to have you around, and I wanted to have you around for the last podcast of the year. So that's one of the reasons why I picked this weekend. But yeah, back to what we were saying on Fleeting Iris. There will be 1.16 version, which should be the final Fleeting Iris version, like the absolute final. We probably won't touch that game again ever. There has been no bugs that cause any sort of, unless someone finds one that is like super hidden. There hasn't been any reports of bugs that cause soft locks or hard locks or whatever. All the bugs are something like, oh wait, we need to fix one bug. I don't know if you fixed it. The one where if you are broke, you cannot leave the mall bug.
What? That's a cool one.
Apparently,
I never heard of that one.
Apparently, someone tried to spend all their money, like went broke. I don't know how the fuck they went broke.
On purpose?
Probably on purpose.
Sure.
They went broke, and then they went to the mall. Or they were cheating. They were using cheat engines and changed their money to 1 or 0 or whatever. And apparently someone decided to go broke. No, just this. Apparently someone decided to go broke and go to the mall, and now they couldn't leave because it costs like 2
Yeah,
zel to go
they
to
can
get up.
pay the subway. Yes,
Yeah,
I can see how that would be an issue.
we have to make something like oh shit, I'll have to walk.
Sure.
In the future, we might have to do something like not let the player go to the mall if he's broke. Like I won't have money for the transportation back, whatever. But whatever. Fleeting Hour is getting the last patch. Is pretty much just bug fixes and whatnot and typo fixes. But one thing that a lot of people have been asking for a long time, Fleeting Hours is getting a Renpai remake, and that one should be out very soon. Soon to the point where the person that is doing the Renpai port told me I think he has already played every single version, every single route on the Renpai version. So at this point, the fixes that is left doing on the Renpai version, it's just UI work. Apparently from now on, it's obviously the one that is going to take the most time out of other people's hands. But right now, I think that the only thing that is left for the Renpai port is basically UI work. So just menus and stuff like that. So again, in Evan Studios' new fashion, we are not going to promise dates or anything, but yeah, it's very the Renpai version is extremely advanced, and it's you guys should probably be able to play it very soon. I personally haven't played it yet. I hope it's good. I hope you guys enjoy it, especially the Renpai fans, because there's a lot of people that don't see the charm in RPG Maker, and personally, I don't see anything wrong with that. So I hope you guys enjoy the Renpai version. It has been asked for a lot, but it was such a daunting task that most people wouldn't go next to Fleeting Iris with a 10-foot pole. And thankfully we found someone that wanted to do that. And yeah, I don't know if that person knew what they were going for, because at first they were like, bro, I've worked in big games. And I was like, no, bro, you don't get it. No, don't worry, I've worked in big games. And halfway through, it was like, okay, bro, you weren't fucking kidding when you said the game was big. And I was like, no, I told you. And it was like, bro, what the fuck, your game is like big. And I'm like, yeah, the game is big. And then later down the road, it was like, bro, what the fuck, your game is so much bigger than I thought it was. Your game is fucking huge. No wonder no one came near the game. Yeah, I told you that right from the start. I was not lying to you. But yeah, thankfully, it's almost done. And with that comes great news in the future. And I will explain. So yeah, Fleeting Iris will be available. The final version should be available on RPG Maker VX6 and Rampy as well. So there is that. Now, let's move on for Fleeting Iris IF, which is the completely reworked version of VX6 that we have, mostly to because we wanted to make all the games in VX6 for everyone that knows this story by now, and because we needed to use a different version because we couldn't release the stuff with the main game because of patrons guidelines and the guidelines of some countries and whatnot. So a lot of people are able to play EF and they just download it if it's legal in their country or not. So it's the only way to be able to provide this type of content for you guys without forcing you guys to download Fleeting Iris that has that type of content that is then illegal in a lot of countries. So that's the reason why EF exists. For the people that don't know, the EF is the one that has a few what if scenes, as well as the bestiality patch, as well as the Shota patch, and soon the Christmas patch. Now, the Shota patch is pretty much completed. I've been improving it a little bit here and there. As a lot of people know, we got the message log not too long ago, and basically with the new animations that we added, we had to go back and change a few scenes in a little bit of a story because of continuation errors. But the beta should be out. I'm gonna say sometime next week. I'm aiming for Monday, but just in case I don't have time in the weekend to do the final changes, sometimes next week the beta should be out. We already have a bunch of people to test the beta version, but obviously if there's more people that want to test it, we want the beta version to be fully tested by Christmas, so we can release everything all together. As for the Christmas patch, obviously the goal is to release the Christmas patch at Christmas. Right now we are waiting for hopefully for our scripter to pretty much improve our animation script, because the way it works is when you add an animation to the game, you can change a bunch of settings, like what's the picture ID, whatever, a bunch of shit that doesn't matter for most of you. But one of the things that you can change is the speed of the animation, and the way the script is done. There is a lot of limitations to how the animation can be done, because there's a bunch of like speed settings. So let's say that the default speed is like 3. It's just a randomly attributed number. Let's just say it's like a 3. It doesn't. The thing with 3 is, like, imagine like Celsius and Fahrenheit, right? In Celsius everything makes sense. Water starts freezing at 0. Water starts boiling at 100. There's like these points where, oh, at this point this happens, this point this happens. 3 doesn't mean anything. It's just, okay, let's add, like, I don't know how many frames to 3, I don't know how many frames to 2. 3 is not like, oh, 3 is like 60 frames. No, it's just a number. It's 3. It's completely random. It's like the Fahrenheit of coding. I don't know who the fuck thought of that. It makes no fucking sense. And 3 seems like default setting. 2 is like twice as fast as 3, and 1 is like you want to animate like the Flash. If you want to animate the Flash, 1 is perfect. You can barely see what the fuck is going on. And that's how it goes. And from 4 on, it's like 2 slugs having sex with each other. And number 5 is like a sloth having sex with each other. And 6 on is like, is this shit even moving? So that's the range. That's the range we have. There's not a lot to work with in that range, especially when you have like a very set number of frames, because of all of our animations have somewhere between 16 and 24 frames, which means you see 16 to 24 images per second. Sometimes whatever setting is in our script is absolutely fucking garbage. Like, the animations are good because the team that drew the CGs made it a good job, and then the animator did a good job. But once you put that in the game, the speed at which you go between images, so basically animating it, it's very random because of that script. So what our scripter is doing is changing the way the script works, so that the animations are made. And let me see. Basically, is going to change it so that you can select an exact number of frames. So 1 will be 1 frame per second, 2 will be 2 frames per second, and it's trying to change the script in order for us to have the maximum amount of control on the quality of the animation. And that's one of the things that we are waiting for, hopefully, that we will be able to go change all the scenes that we have already done and animated. We can actually tamper with the values and remake all the animations. Not remake, basically select the speed and have a bigger control over the speed, which also allows us, and this is a big problem, to use the same animation for like early on the scene or later down the scene. Like, we can actually speed the animation by making it change between frames faster. So if we do that with the current scripts, like there's like two numbers that are that don't look like shit, which is like 2 and 3, and 2 is already borderline too fast,
Yes.
and 3 is like borderline it's okay, but being a slightly faster wouldn't hurt. And we want to have more control between frames. That's one of the biggest issues we always had with our animation script. It's like a number too high is too slow, and the number too low is too fast. That is one of the things. Other than that, since we decided to delay the Christmas patch, we have decided to add 2 extra scenes. We haven't teased them yet, but in Evan Studios fashion, we are going to save something to all people. We are not going to spoil these ones. I can tell you it's when it's with Adriana and when it's with Evelyn. I can spoil that much, but that's about as much as I'm willing to spoil at this point. So, as for the end of this year, our goal is obviously to release EF with Christmas and Shota, and we're going to try our best to have everything ready, by Christmas night. So yeah, for Fleeting Hours EF, that is the goal. We haven't discussed. I was now thinking, we haven't discussed this yet. We have no plans to release Fleeting Hours EF on Rampy, but I will actually talk to our Rampy port guy and maybe try to get that in Rampy as well. It's 100% not gonna come out this year.
Rampy port guy is a great name.
Rampy port guy. It's a guy. I always have a guy for everything.
Yes.
What am I supposed to call him?
I have no idea. I don't know his name. I know.
If I say his name, it's like, oh right, that guy. What guy? The Rampy port guy. So yeah, for Fleeting Hours EF, we might be able to get it on Rampy. I'm gonna talk to him today, and yeah, maybe sometime early next year, once Fleeting Hours is on Rampy is finished, we might have Fleeting Hours EF on Rampy. Oh, he also was able to do he said with a little change here and there, I was also able to do the Halloween mini games and whatever on Rampy.
Really? Oh, that's nice.
I'm super excited to see how that works.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea how the fuck he's gonna do that on Rampy. I never go there on Rampy, but yeah. No, Rudolph is not gonna get any action. There's not going to be bestiality on the Christmas patch. Yeah, moving on. Obviously for Bloodlust and Journey Abroad. For Bloodlust, I think the biggest news is that obviously we're going to start working on it as soon as the first patch for Journey Abroad is finished. Obviously we have done a lot of groundwork, and people have already seen a lot of teasers for Bloodlust. But actually, you know what? I'm going to. I usually don't do this, but in the spirit of Christmas, let's do a little. Let's do a little ad bobbing, because my cat is in front of the fucking.
She's watching the TV, man.
Let me just make sure that all of this can show up on YouTube before we get like striked.
Oh, it's easy. It can't.
Huh?
It's easy. It can't.
No. This can. It's just like outlines.
Are you sure?
Dude, these outlines. There's nothing here. It's literally outline. You don't know if she's wearing like a latex
but
costume.
they are TD outlines.
Okay, let's say she's in latex.
What the fuck, man?
I mean, this is 100%. This is like. I'm pretty sure that this is going to show up as. I swear this fucking cat. I'm going to kill one of these. Get the
No, shit.
I'm sorry for that. Just put that on top of the closet. I swear this fucking cat is annoying as shit, dude. It's always during the podcast. I might be working. I might be doing something else. She doesn't annoy me. That's one. And let me add another one.
Oh, fuck.
Wait. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Let's add another one. This is the one that Isaac is worried about. I mean, he has reasons to be worried about, but I don't think it's... Holy shit. I have other issues with the image. We are gonna have to do that. Yeah, because this is the... What the fuck just happened? What did I just move? What the fuck did I just move? We're almost there, guys. Sorry. Please stick with us while we're experiencing technical difficulties. What the... imagine some elevator music and some technical difficulties warning in the...
You can play our elevator music.
I'm done. Here we go. Oh, I stretched Jasmine's...
I think everyone gets the idea.
But I think everyone gets the idea. So, basically, we are working on the costumes. For Jasmine, we have worked on our main costume, as well as we are currently working on our sleeping costume, and then we are going to work on our obviously she's going to have like a gym. My cats are just being annoying to Isaac, like all the like they're sitting in his chair and shit. They want to share. They want to share the Christmas joy. They want to be part of the podcast. They knew it was going to be
Absolutely
the last podcast of the year, so they were like, "Yeah, we 100% want to participate in this." Anyway, we are making her sleeping attire, which is the attire that she walks
about to do something stupid. Oh, she
walks around the house, and obviously there's going to be some scenes in it. We also have to do. The spies, the infiltration, whatever, which is basically going to be a latex full body suit. Imagine, she's not going to say it. It's like the conventional spy shit. I'm just going to Google. Yeah, here we go. I just went like most generic fucking bullshit ever. And it's going to be something like this, but better. And it's going. This one is going to be slightly similar on both. I know Foster is going to love this one.
You mean latex?
Yeah, Foster aka latex. It's going to be something like this. This image is probably copyrighted. I'm not profiting off this image anyway. But yeah, just to give you guys an idea, let's try to show the image for less than 9 seconds. I think that's enough. Let's just delete this.
Hello, Morgan.
So yeah, that's basically their
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with your cats today?
Oh, I understand. I was like, why the fuck did you say hello, Morgan? Oh, because hello, Morgan. So that's going to be the spy costume that they're going to have. And then we're going to work on everything else. Like, basically, they're going to have a PE costume for physical education classes. They're going to have their swimming attires and whatever. So basically, there's going to be a lot of costumes. And that's what the CG team for Bloodlust is going to be working on. As we are working on Journey Abroad, we have a lot of assets that we can use already. So Journey Abroad in that sense is a lot more advanced, since we've been working on Journey Abroad for like a year at this point. And the team for Bloodlust is still working on the Christmas patch and whatnot. Honestly, I feel like we have came a long way, and I feel like we have reached a point where both Jazz and Evelyn actually look like main characters. And I think they look the best they ever looked. I know there's a lot of people that were worried that Jazz will look like too old or whatever. as in the main bust, but I feel like the transition, in the end, people are going to like it better. Obviously, not everyone, but I feel like in general, people are going to like it better. And Devlin, well, basically, she has the extra justice that everyone likes. Well, not everyone, but most people are expecting. Oh, and I can actually change this, but unlike Fleeting Aries, I'm going to try and take like a screenshot to show the idea. And now I actually have to save it because I'm an idiot. I forgot about that. Exactly what I wanted to open. How did you guess? Are you fucking... Dude. I hate Windows so fucking much, you have no idea. Fucking trash OS, dude.
Which one is your favorite OS?
Sadly, Windows, they're all trash. And now this one is being a fucking dick. See, this is the type of shit that makes me want to go online and use Imager, but Imager is also a fucking dick. So you know what's best? Photoshop. Like, fuck all this shit. If you go this, boom, there you go. I'm sorry, guys, we're experiencing technical difficulties. You know the deal. Let me go and do this. So this, just to give you guys an idea, I don't know if you guys can see it. I will try to like spread a little bit, but the characters now are going to be even more animated. As most of you know at this point, the game is going to come out in MV. Dashfan said the puss better be see-through. Is he saying what is see-through? I don't. Yeah, they will both use latex, Fostern. This will be their spy costumes, and basically most of the scenes that happen during the infiltrations and whatnot are going to be done in that costume. So as you see, unlike Fleeting Eyes, where I am as 70 different costumes and 70 different busts and whatnot, but she always has the same position. Like Fujiko has a different position, but she always has the same position. No, the tight suit will be tight, but it will not be see-through. You will be able to see the contours of the body. It's going to be extremely obvious, but not like see-through. I mean, they're spies, not sluts. Well, they're both, but they only got paid for doing one of them. Or they might not be sluts at all. It depends on how you play the game. But yeah, unlike Fleeting Aries, in this game, she will have a lot of different expressions. So there will be a lot of megabytes in busts. And the characters will be a lot more expressive because of this. This is going to be easy to do for us because the bodies, all of them have the face in the same position. So what we are going to try to do this time is just have the expressions, the faces done in a different place, and then we just overlap the images. And in terms of background work, it's going to be better for us. And in terms of me trying to figure out what the fuck I'm trying to find, it's going to be a lot worse.
I'm looking forward to all the problems we're going to have with this method.
Obviously, it's new method, new problems.
Absolutely.
Morgan asked, "Is there any work in progress previews for the new characters / villains?" No, we're still working on the female main characters.
I mean, the main villains are not new characters per se, so
all of them are new characters.
So I mean, in the Bloodlust, you will have like Armand, for instance.
He's like he's like Big Wig. He only shows up at the end.
Oh, okay.
They're probably talking about the main antagonists, and the main antagonists are only one of them which is Brett, which is the guy at the city end. Yes. That Ayami can actually see
the voyeur scenes and
the voyeur scenes. Yeah, he's
probably the guys Chloe fights in the drug warehouse, for instance.
That's a mission. That doesn't consist on antagonists. Antagonists that people know. That's the only one. It's Brett. Most people know it. It's the blonde, 10 guy from Fleeting Eyes. You don't actually get to meet him per se. I mean, Ayame kind of does,
Yes.
but you don't know much about him. He's going to make a return on Bloodlust. Everyone else, the school principal, the gym teacher, whatever, we haven't even drew their bust yet. Um, but at the end of the day, we might just use stock sprites for the initial version, and we will work on them and we will present them to people. Like, if we are able to do a bi-monthly release, we might actually be ready for we might actually have them ready in February. The patch might not have any anti-scenes early on, but as long as the system is all in place and
Yeah.
everything is ready, we start working on the menus and whatnot, we will be happy with the release. So yeah, I think like having the characters be animated this way is going to make the game a lot richer. One of the things that we have always enjoyed doing and we still work towards is having the games be immersive and showing a lot of emotion and expression and whatnot. In a lot of small details, regardless if people are notice them or care about them or not. Like for instance, for the Christmas patch and the Shota patch, not as much the Shota patch because you still go to Ayame's house and you have you have the same songs as usual. A lot of the stuff is similar, but for the Christmas patch, the entire soundtrack is completely new. Like the entire soundtrack, there's not a single soundbite that we have used in Fleeting Hours so far. There's a few original ones for the Shota patch, the songs for the twins, the songs for the twins house, and I like them a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, and Bloodlust is going to get the same, or at least similar treatment. There's going to be some similar maps, because even though there will be, it will be work on MV now. Some of the maps are still going to be similar to what they are in Fleeting Hours, even though, obviously, in terms of assets, we are still trying to catch up in MV with what we have in VXAs, which will probably mean make a lot of assets ourselves. Another thing that we discussed in the past was the idea to actually release the games in Unite. So one of the reasons why we were kind of like delaying working on the game as much.
Actually, that might be an issue.
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm heading at. Obviously. So one of the reasons why we were kind of like delaying, but we were waiting to see if it was worth switching from MV to MZ. That was one of the things that we were waiting to see if it was worth it. And we obviously decided that it wasn't. But at some point we were like, bro, Unite is about to come out. Like, maybe we just release this on Unite. And maybe later it's easy to port the game to Unity and whatnot. And this sounded good until about 2 or 3 months ago, where the CEO of Unity had a fucking brain fart. And for those that don't know, basically he just wants to make everyone that makes a game on Unity go broke. For people that don't know the story, just Google Unity drama. But basically, he wants to charge people ridiculous amounts of money for releasing games in his platform, in Unity. And he will do something ridiculous as to charge per installation of the game, which a lot of people were like, so is Unity going to call home? Which is like, every time you install, is it going to send a signal over the internet telling you that there's someone installing your game? As in, is that shit intrusive as fuck? And they were like, no, it's not intrusive, bro. It's not going to call home. So how the fuck are you going to check someone is installing the game? So it's going to call home, but it's not going... Basically, there was huge drama, like dystopic levels of what the fuck level of drama. Obviously, almost everyone that was developing games on Unity decided to start developing the game on something else or switch platform. People that had already made games on Unity pulled their games out of stores to rework on their games because this shit is going to be retroactively applied to all the games ever done on Unity.
There are actually some companies trying to fight that on court. Because it's
Obviously.
hard to apply a law like that.
Obviously, but here's the deal. This works like everything else. Everyone that breaks the law and they know they're breaking the law. Their point is, even if we have to pay to a few companies that are going to take us to court, the vast majority of people that won't will make up for it financially. And basically that's how laws work for most people. See, the laws were made for everyone because some people have no morals. That should be law number one. Why shouldn't I do this? Because it's morally questionable. That's the rule for most people when it comes to should I do this or not. It's not because there's a law made by some government somewhere that says you can't do this. Oh man, I was about to shoot my mother, but since the government says I can't, it makes no fucking sense. But people have no morals, especially when it comes to money. A law is only as strong as you are able to apply it. I was watching gonna sidetrack a little bit here, but I was watching an argument the other day, and some guy was like, feminism will never work. And she was like, why? Because you need men to enforce feminism. So you're being given the idea that you are like dominating. Because if people don't respect feminism, what are we gonna do? Enforce it. And who the fuck is gonna enforce it? You're gonna have women enforce feminism on men? No, you can't do that. So you will need men to enforce feminism. Laws only work if you are willing to enforce it and if you are able to enforce it. So someone said once, if all you have as all you have as a punishment for doing something is a financial fine, that's not a punishment for doing a crime, that's a taxation on the poor for making the crime. I heavily paraphrased it.
Yes.
But the point is, if you can kill a person, but you have to pay $50,000, most people won't be out there killing people because, man, it's $50,000. It's a lot of money to afford to kill someone. Rich people will be killing people left and right all the fucking time. If the only tax, like if you don't go to jail or if you don't do heavy time or something like that, most of these companies don't give a fuck, especially since the people they will have to pay money for is like 20% when they make 400% profit on the people that they're overtaxing. So the people that don't take them to court will actually make up for the people that actually take them to court. Sometimes when a lot of people take these companies to court, they go broke. And yeah, something that Morgan pointed out, Unity is getting signals that the horny dude is reinstalling the entire game for the 10th time. Obviously intrusive as fuck. So yeah, there's a lot of things that are wrong with this. And no one is touching Unity or anything related to Unity with the 10-foot pole. Actually, if I was Interbrain, the company responsible for RPG Maker MV, I would be like, thanks for wasting our time. We are going to sue you. RPG Maker Unite is not going to sell because you fucking flip-flopped, crisscrossed at the last fucking minute.
Yeah, the game was shipping up to be great, the engine. I was seeing some tutorials from early access and whatnot. Shit was looking great, and then this news came out and I was like, fuck, man.
As a final note on this, just for you guys to realize, we are not going to work on Unite. The guy that was the CEO of Unity that made this decision is the same guy that introduced FIFA Ultimate Team on FIFA. He's the guy...
Sometimes jokes write themselves.
Sometimes jokes write themselves.
I wasn't aware about that.
He's the guy that was on EA responsible for FIFA, and he was like, what if we make a gacha predatory system for FIFA where people actually have to like draw their players in cards, like a gacha system, and they pay a lot of fucking money for it. It's the same guy. The guy that invented FIFA Ultimate Team is the same guy that decided to overcharge people on Unity. So, for me, there's like the guy that decided to buy that company that released AIDS pills for like $7 and increased the pills to like $200 or $300 or whatever, and he said, what are people gonna do, not pay them and die? They're gonna pay exactly how much the fuck I want. That guy is like number one. This douchebag for Unity is like right below him in the list of motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about people as long as there's money to be won. That motherfucker is like number two. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that I don't even know who the fuck they are that have like extremely scummy business methods. But these guys like take the cake easily. Like
those guys are very public, so yeah.
I wonder why. No, these guys are next level scumbags. It takes a special level of scumbag to do this. Like the 8 spills one is that guy is absolutely disgusting. There's a special place in hell for him. But this one, in terms of like business methods, it's like, can you get any more predatory? Oh yeah, Morgan said that dude wanted to charge for bullets on FPS, right? Or at least said that there was potential in that. What he said was, and he actually said this, he said he was going to do this. If he was working on Call of Duty, he would allow for special reloads. You see where your character takes some time to reload the gun?
I get the idea.
You could press a button. Bro, this is the worst part. This idea hasn't been it hasn't been scrapped. This is still on the table. Yeah. So what Morgan is alluding to is
that will make the game 100% pay to win.
100% pay to win. Yes. But this is FIFA is already Ultimate Team is already pay to win. But here's the thing. It will allow a button that will allow you to instantly reload your weapon, like full bullets, no animation, but you will pay a small real-life currency charge for it. Like 20 cents. And people will be so mad. This motherfucker again?
Absolutely.
Is it recharged?
Absolutely.
Is it recharged? Yes, it's the same dude.
I genuinely can see how profitable that idea is.
That shit will be so profitable, especially when people get mad in FPSs.
Yes,
people will spin houses in fucking instant reloads. It's predatory. And listen, I know this is America, and people are supposed to be able to choose their poison in whatever. Just in general.
I have a billion issues with that idea.
I have a billion issues with that idea. I don't want to be a dictator that tells people what they can and cannot do, but you should protect people from predatory practices. Like, there's ways to make profit without shitting on people. Like, I don't want to be like virtual signaling here because of all the stuff that we did for free, all the stuff that we released that put us back financially, whatever. But there definitely is a way to conduct business. And this guy clearly shows that he does not give a fuck. So no, Bloodlust will not be released in Unite. It's going to be released in MV and possibly Renpai as well. This is obviously going to spoil everything that I'm going to say from here on out. But all of our games and all of our platforms, we are going to try to get our Renpai port guy to release everything on Renpai. So shortly after, if this works out, and I'm almost sure it will, shortly after every patch for Bloodlust or every patch for Journey Abroad, we will have a Renpai patch. So you will be able to play the game in whatever platform you see fit. I don't know how he's going to do it with Bloodlust, since there will be fighting, since there will be puzzles, since there will be dungeon exploring, whatnot. So I don't know how is he going to do that, but I just, we gotta hope that it's gonna look good. and maybe some people don't even care about the fighting, and the Renpai version is, just simpler. I knew that I had something else to talk about Bloodlust. Foster asks, will Bloodlust be as big and long as Fleeting Iris? No game is going to be as big as long as Fleeting Iris. No, it's not going to be as big and long as a game that takes 8 fucking years to work on.
Just to give you guys some perspective, currently I'm working on the typos on Fleeting Iris that Stark talked about. And the game has around 600 and something maps. So I have to check. Somebody already checked, but I have to correct all the events like one by one. Currently, I'm around map number 190 something. So, no, Bloodlust will not have 600 maps. What the hell are you talking about, bruh?
Yeah, we're also not gonna take 8 years to finish Bloodlust. Fleeting Iris is the perfect example of why some companies put like caps on stuff. You cannot just this is an idea. The map is from I think he took it from another game, which is a screenshot from another game, which is City Skylines. But basically, this is how it's gonna look like, because Morgan asked and a Remake screenshot. So this is like a general idea of something that he showed me a long time ago. But you will be able, I suppose you are just able to click maps, and yeah, that's the UI stuff that we're doing now, which is doing the maps for the stuffs and whatnot. So I don't know why there's a button called Joy Play.
No idea.
Maybe you click on Joy Play and there's a guy that tells you, "Hey, bro, you can play the game in Joy Play," because there's NPCs in the world map that actually give you like important information. Like you there's a program we called Magpie. Oh, there's one called Magpie in the map. I just realized. So yeah, there's some buttons which is like NPCs that tell you that you can use some stuff and whatnot. But yeah, it's probably going to be mostly point and click instead of actually having to walk to places. I don't know how we did stuff like having to take the subway to see some scenes and whatnot, but it's going to be the regular the generic ramping game where you click on places and you meet people there. It's probably going to be 100 times easier to find scenes.
No walking on big maps, no searching for events to click.
The game is going. I mean, to me, it's going to lose a lot, but it's also going to become a lot more intuitive, a lot more. A lot easier to play, a lot easier to find everything. But yeah, this is an idea of Fleeting Iris on Rampy. This screenshot is kind of old. I assume nothing looks like this anymore. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, not much else to say to show about that. So yeah, Bloodlust is currently being worked on behind the scenes as we are working on Journey Abroad and the finishing the Christmas patch and whatnot. For Journey Abroad, it's going to be the no, we don't release we don't discuss release dates. For Journey Abroad, it's going to be the first thing we're going to release in 2024. Like I said, we're still working on the costumes and whatnot, and all the settings in the UI for Journey Abroad, for Bloodlust, sorry. And while the CG team is working on Bloodlust, we already have most of the stuff that we need to be able to release a Journey Abroad patch, so we're going to do that. And obviously, we are going to send the game to our Rampy port guy, and also try to have Journey Abroad released on Rampy. That one should be a lot easier since there will be a lot of mini games there, but there won't actually like fighting or like those crazy amount of stats that aren't easy to track on Rampy.
Yeah.
Basically, your stats are going to be something like strength, charisma, money, whatever. Those are the stats that actually matter in for Journey Abroad, and those are extremely easy to replicate in Rampy.
Yes.
So yeah, Journey Abroad should be the first thing that we release on 2024. We already have something like 20 scenes done. Wait, maybe more. Maybe like 25 scenes. Obviously, we are not going to spoil everything in the first patch and just be like, there you go, all our work. Because at best, we have like 2 scenes per month from Scarlet. Plus, the scenes have to go and be animated. So we will have to actually pace ourselves and not just release way too much just because we have material to release. We are going to take our time because there's something that I've always tried to explain to our fans. Once we started working on Fleeting Hours, there was this, there was this looming idea that we just had to release something to justify how much money we were making, regardless of how much money we were making, because you need to present results. And at some point we were like, bro, listen, we just need to show people that we are working, but let's take our time making everything as good as it possibly can be. And we released like 1 patch without entire scenes, and our support went down like so hard, like really hard, because the CG team was still fixing old scenes. I think it was a patch where they were like, Muku got sick for a while, and then he went back and he tried to like edit some old scenes, and we released the patch with like almost no new scenes, but there was a lot of content. That's when we introduced the lights in the map, bunch of new soundtracks. We changed a bunch of maps. We changed a bunch of new mechanics. There were the new menus with the character stats and whatnot. But it had no enticing because the CG team was working on a bunch of different things. And when we did that, people were not happy. Obviously, at the time that our confidence took a huge hit because something that pisses me off, especially nowadays, and and more I see that it's becoming more and more prevalent, is that there is such a huge culture of making money right now. Like, money is the only thing that matters in the world. And I find it incredibly sad because, first of all, I'm an old head. I was born in '85, so I experienced the joy of the '90s. And basically, the '90s was a culture where people used to do stuff for the passion and for the innovation and for the creativity, regardless of what it was. If it was TV shows, TV commercials, games, whatever the fuck it was, people used to do things because it was fun, because they wanted to, not being overly didactic, but they wanted to, just give people rich experiences. Obviously, people are going to take some stuff out of, you watch a cartoon, you're going to apply some of the experiences to your real life. But everything now seems to have like an agenda. Everything seems to have like an underlying ideological view that is trying to be, pushed down your throat. Everything nowadays, it feels like there's something behind, which is the real reason. Like, I stopped watching anything Marvel because Disney bought it and turned it into a fucking woke fest.
Loki's nice.
So I've heard. But I obviously haven't watched it because I'm boycotting Disney. And obviously it's because the CEO of Disney is gay and there's like 2 transgender kids. Like, what do you know? He adopted 2 kids and they both happened to be transgender. It was like he was, whatever. I don't even want to get into it. But there's this underlying idea that you have to push an agenda, that you have to push your ideologies, your creeds, your whatever it is, on everything that you do. And mostly because those things either translate into money or they translate into fame, which nowadays people seem to consider it as power. Because, hey, if I go to your store and I have a bad experience, you're like, oh well, sucks to be you, go eat a dick. But if some random kid that has like 1 billion YouTube viewers and he goes like, I'm going to put a review on YouTube and it's going to ruin your business,
translates to money. So
that translates into money, and then people no longer tell people to go eat a dick. Obviously, there's epi stories like the YouTuber that was pestering a guy on a mall, and the guy shot him, and the judge was like, "Oh no, you get to go away free because this guy was getting in your face." Thank God for judges like that actually serve justice instead of laws in court. But at the end of the day, I just business practices where the only thing that you care about is money, or pushing an agenda that later down the road leads to money. It's like every kid nowadays, it's all they see. Women, if you start watching those red pill shows, obviously they present like a very dumb portion of the society, which is like the OnlyFans girls and all that shit like that. But once you start looking at it, again, I'm not trying to virtue signal here. It's just it's people with very low morals. It's everything about money. You have that kid that went to Dr. Phil. I don't even talk to my family anymore. They don't have any followers on social media. Did you see that fucking psycho?
No, I didn't saw that.
Dude,
one.
I swear to God, you just go on Bloodlust. Just go on YouTube and you search guy that doesn't talk to his family, no followers, no social media. Dude, there's a guy that doesn't talk to his mother. He lives in her house and he barely talk. What am I going to talk to them about? They don't have any followers. Bro, this is fucking real. People measure the value of others exclusively on money and followers, like if you have influence, if you're an influencer. That's not what I got into making games for. Else I would have done a lot more predatory practices. I would have charged for everything. Rampage, I'm going to charge differently. Shoulder patch, I'm going to put it on the all side. Pay for it if you want to play it. Christmas patch, DLC, pay for it if you want to play it. Pubes, pay for it, $2.99. Tans, pay for it. Like,
there's a button when you press it.
There's a button where you press it. You know, the guy instantly reloads the next ejaculation. You know, it's
man, that's so dumb.
We are so sick of it. Like, we believe in our value, first and foremost. We do. Even if we have no value, we still believe in it, and we want to make games for the sake of making fun games, for the sake of making good games. I've seen very good devs go away because of the pressure of releasing games every 2 months, or lower. Like Key from Officer Chloe quit because the expectation were too much. I have a friend called Arkanu, who was releasing games every month. I was like, you're not going to be able to keep up the pace. And he was like, no, dude, I got this. I'm going to be able to keep up the pace. He's not. He started going from 1 month to 2 months to, guys, I'm not being able to, like, it's taking a toll on my health. And that's why I tell people, I've been doing this shit for 8 years. The toll it took on my health, both physically and mentally, back then is not the same as it takes nowadays. If I don't pace myself, if I don't take time, it's going to ruin making games completely. I won't be able to make games. I will be feeling miserable the whole fucking time if the only thing that I care about is let's push this out, let's push this out, let's push this out. Right now we are taking a quality over quantity perspective. Like the last anti-scene that I wrote for the shoulder patch, the last one with the last animation, I actually had to split the game, the scene, between short version and long version, and people will have to pick if they want to see the short version or the long version in the CG room, because the scene is so absurdly huge that you might not want to see the story that leads to it, because once they start going at it, they start there's a huge dialogue explaining how they got into that place, like what's their mindset and whatnot, and it's part of the scene. But that intro is so absurdly huge, I decided to break the scene down in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Like the short version and the long version. That scene by itself is bigger than, like, in terms of dialogue, the first, 15 scenes of Leading Hours, the regular one. That's how huge the scene is. So I'm not gonna be part of the culture that I criticize so heavily. I'm not gonna be making games just for the sake of making money. I hope that people see our efforts, see our words, see how much time and how much passion it's put into our games. Because at the end of the day, every time we release something, there's very few people that are able to release anything in the same time span that we have. Like once this year is over, we will have finished two games. Between both games, there's 30 plus scenes. 30 plus scenes, and this is like, and this is the difference between 2D and 3D. It's like going for an artisanal burger versus going to a McDonald's burger. McDonald's burger is still delicious, still amazing, but it's a McDonald's burger. It's 3D. It's like boom bap, it's done. You know it's gonna taste exactly the same every single fucking time. But if you want something special, something that is catered to you, something that you pick the ingredients and you know it's going to taste absolutely delicious, you're going to pay a little extra and you're going to go to an artisanal burger shop. And that's the way I see 2D versus 3D. If you want like instant gratification, go play something 3D. But the point is, not even people that do 3D games are able to put up the amount of work that we put on a 2D game. Like the only exception that I see is NLT Media. And again, they work in 3D, we work in 2D, it's completely different. The spacing between patches is something that burns down almost every single developer. There's very few developers that I know that are able to meet up with people's expectations, so to speak. All the games that I used to follow, there was a game that they were releasing like every 3 or 4 months, and I thought the game was amazing. They haven't released anything for a year at this point, and I'm like, well, you know, I kind of get what he's doing. I don't remember the name of the game. I can probably check it right quick. It's Water Legend by Magic Nuts. And he hasn't released anything for like a year. But like every time he releases, you can tell where the time is when. Actually, this patch you might not because he had a baby and something got in the way. But every time he releases, you can tell, oh, this is what he's been doing for all that time. And I know that a lot of people are very suspicious of Patreon, Subscribestar, and all those business methods because they make you wait for like 4 months, 5 months, whatever. They start missing deadlines and whatever. But the catch is, when they finally release the game, you look at and you're like, bro, there's 1 week, 2 weeks of work tops here. Like you finish the patch in 5 minutes. People were like, bro, like you guys have been working on the shorter patch for like 7 months. Yes, it's a full game, 30 plus scenes. It takes days to play the game. It actually takes days, real life days. Unless you have your finger on the control button, it actually takes real life days to actually finish the game. And I know this because I have to go back a lot of times to make sure that there's no continuation errors. Oh wait, what did the character say there? And then I have to like play the game all together to follow the flow. And it takes so fucking long to play the game. Dude, I had a friend, some guy that wanted to work with us on NFTs, and I was like, I don't like NFTs. I'm not gonna do any type of like, you know, NFT sounds like I'm trying to pull people into a Ponzi scheme. Dude, I'm not going to entertain the idea of mixing money with, obviously there will always be a business component on making games. But I will not fucking play around with, oh bro, let's add crypto, let's add fucking NFTs to our game. It seems fucking, it's not for me, bro. It's not for our games. Oh, you can make some of Miami's costumes NFTs and shit. No, dude, like no. That feels incredibly predatory. That's a fucking Ponzi scheme. That's what it is. I don't like those business methods. And you came here and you was playing the shoulder patch. We had dinner. We came here and I was like, listen, if you want to try the game, go ahead, try the game. And it was here between like 9:30 p.m. until like 2 a.m. Just playing the game. He was reading everything. And he was just playing the game. And by the time he was done with like the first 10 days of the game.
Yes.
And he was here like
that makes sense.
The whole night. And he only played through the first like 10 days. Like reading the whole thing.
Yes.
Even caught some typos that I didn't even realize they were there. But at the end of the day, it's about the quality and the amount of work that you put out. The problem is when people make you wait 4 or 5 months for 5 minutes of gameplay. Then I understand why people get completely pissed off. But I will not let people with predatory practices dictate how I must release our game, because he'll be like, no, because if you release every month, we can see exactly what you've been doing that month, and we will know if we're not wasting our time, bro. We've been doing this for 8 years. If you want to believe us, fine. If you think we're fucking around and not working, fine. Just, go support someone else that, I don't know, releases the game every month. I don't know who the fuck is doing that at this point, but we are past that. We are physically past that, mentally past that, and in terms of business, we are past that. Like, if you want to believe us at this point, fine. If you don't want to believe us at this point, fine. Like, we are passionate about what we do. We have been delivering without exception for 8 years. We have done the biggest fucking game ever made in terms of hentai games. We have made just this year we have made 2 games. Completely new maps, completely new soundtracks, new busts, completely new animated scenes. All of the scenes animated. Voice acting. Like, what else do people want us to do? Like, point us to what is the industry poster child. Point us to what should be the example, right? And I don't see anyone pointing out names. People are like, bro, you should be. Who does it faster? Who does it better? If we're such a bad example, and people don't come up with ideas, and people are fast to point the fingers, and at this point we just don't care anymore. We believe we have a huge team of very professional, very capable people that was really hard to put together. We believe in our effort. We believe in our quality, and in 2024, people are going to see it. But we will take our time releasing things. Sure, we will be making releases every month, but we don't care anymore about the size of the release. We just want to be able to show people, here is the work. Because like I said, in 2024, we are going to be showing people the daily work on. We are going to use Picarto. I think it's Picarto. I forgot what the website is. I should have it right here. But yeah, we are going to be releasing our developing schedule and whatnot, and you will actually be able to see us develop the game. That's our plans for 2024 in terms of developing, is actually be able to show people how much work we put into the games. But we will no longer try to rush something, because I guess at this point I can just move over to Fleeting Iris and Remaster. We want to rework the whole game. Like, literally, we want to rework maps, we want to rework dialogues, we want to rework our routes work. We want to make the game have a flow and actually be playable all in one playthrough. And we want to make the scenes more meaningful. And obviously we want to upscale the scenes so there's higher quality. But when people see the difference between Fleeting Iris Remaster and the regular Fleeting Iris, there's going to be 2 things that are going to be evidently apparent, which is, 1, how much have we evolved as a team through these 8 years, and number 2, what happens when a team is actually given enough time to work on something. Because for me, playing with the standards that we have today, playing through that start of Fleeting Iris is actually painful. The dialogues, it's we were inexperienced and we were on the clock. No one knew us. We were trying to make a name for ourselves. So being on the clock is really hard. In all games, when people hit crunch time, in companies, people start going crazy. Now imagine what it is to go on crunch time every month or every 2 months. We were lucky, Isaac and I, and Muku and Tiger Lila as well, to be as young as we were when he started working on Fleeting Iris. Or else all the stuff that people said that was going to happen would have actually happened. We would have quit. We will not be able to physically or mentally be able to put out the game that we put out. Not with the team that we had, not with the financial support that we had. We didn't have a dozen people working on the game. We had 2 people working on the CGs and 2 people working on the dialogues and the story and whatnot, the mechanics. And our game is so incredibly complex. I've told people, download RPG Maker, learn a little bit about it, and then go check our game. And then you will realize why our game takes so long to make. Sure, some of the stuff was suboptimal, but I even told people, listen, here's what you can do. Here's the assets for RPG Maker. Here's the assets for all our enticings. You have access to all the stuff that we have. Build your own enticing. 3 people came back with enticings.
That was the funny one.
3 people. There were hundreds of people telling us how to do it better. 3 people wrote scenes. And those were scenes that I will finish in 2 hours. I'm at a point where almost every enticing that I make takes like 2-3 days to make. Just on the sheer amount of dialogue, just on the sheer amount of transitions and faces and animations and whatnot, it might take me days to actually make an enticing. Just on the amount of dialogue there is in the scene. 3 people. There were thousands of downloads of our AG assets broken down so that you could go on Photoshop, just pick this face, pick this smile, pick these eyes, pick these eyebrows, pick this position, whatever. You could just, assemble it, write your own enticing. 3 people wrote enticings. At this point, the only thing that we owe to our supporters is to make the best possible game that we can. Because we know that people that have been following us this far and still follow us care more about the quality of our games than deadlines, than the games being rushed and the games being trash and us having to go back and change it. Because we're old school. Because we believe there's more to making things than trying to push ideologies and trying to make money. Oh, let's make Miami with big breasts and charge $3 for it. It seems like I'm fucking joking, but this is real. I know that there's games, some of them that have been praised by the community, where people charge for things like pubes. Oh, different air color? Charge. Pubes? Charge. That's not us. That's not us. We are not going to do that. And by the way, if you take out the mechanics out of that game, I could finish that game in 4 months. The whole game. In terms of the amount of enticings that are in it and whatever, I can finish that game in 4 months. I cannot code like that. I can hire someone to code like that. Just an idea. Like, as a developer, as someone that works on games, it takes one to know one. And assessing the amount of work that is on our games shouldn't be that hard. But every time people say, bro, I can do better. Like, the funniest example of this, there's a guy, he goes on F95. He's there all the time. And he keeps crying on my Discord window because apparently they treat him like shit there. And I already told him, bro, I'm not gonna go there. I actually went there once. I left one post. I'm also gonna tell this story right quick. It's Christmas special. It's gonna be funny. I went on F95. I made an account. It's called Evan Studios. It has one post. I went to the Fleeting Gary's page, whatever topic. I didn't read anything. I didn't read the reviews. I knew they were going to piss me off, so I didn't just... I know that we were like 4.5 stars out of 5. I still didn't read them because, either it's going to inflate my ego or make me feel like shit. I don't want to read it. Because there's people that get the game for free, fire the game, play for like 5 minutes, go like, not for me, it's trash. Oh, I didn't need to see enticing. Like, people are gonna piss me off. I don't give a fuck. I'm not fucking kidding, bro. I'm not fucking kidding. I made an account to find the guy that was. He wanted to talk to me because it was, hey, bro, I want to port your game to Remake. I want permission to port your game to Remake, and I went on F95 to fall to actually meet him. I made an account, Evan Studios. You can go on F95. You can check it. It has one post. It was made like last month, and there was a guy that could not play the game. He said, "There's this error," and I told him, "Oh, by the way, there were like 10 people telling him, bro, have you reinstalled the game? Have you done this? Have you done that?" All of them wrong, like completely wrong. I saw there and I was like, "Oh, that's easy. You have there's somewhere in the routes of your game, in the file path of your game, some Unicode that your computer doesn't recognize." Like some Asian characters or whatever that your computer doesn't recognize, and when you try to run an RPG Maker, it doesn't run because of that. Like, you have to like remove the special Unicode characters out of the file path, and you will be able to play the game. Just put it on your desktop, for instance, and call it game or Fleeting Iris, just in generical Roman characters. And he got the game. It was like, oh my god, shit, that worked, thank you. 5 minutes later, he left a negative review in the game. Saying, oh my god, why does it take so long to find porn in this game? I literally helped the guy play the game. So 5 minutes earlier, he left a review saying, I don't know what's the hype about this game. I've been playing for 5 minutes and still no fucking porn. And that was my only post on F95. And now you realize why I don't go on those forums. I left so fucking hard. That's it. That's the story of my
I never heard that story, bro. That's gold.
That's my experience on F95. And then I obviously found the guy that I wanted to talk to. I talked to him via PM. We then decided to go on Discord and continue our conversations on Discord. I never set foot on F95 again. I left so hard. I was like, yeah, this sounds about right. Help a guy play your game and get instantly fucked in the ass with a bad review.
Yes.
Yeah. Sonya, what's up, bro? Clearly they want you to make an 80-hour game that's open world, make a movie, write a book, and cure cancer. Well, only missing cure cancer. 80-hour, that's probably about what Fleeting Iris is.
Fleeting Iris, yeah, probably, yes.
That's it, that's
yes.
That's probably what Fleeting Iris is. If you read the whole dialogue, that's probably what Fleeting Iris is.
Yes.
An 80-hour game.
Getting all the endings? Yes, probably.
So I thought that shit was hilarious. That's all I wanted to say. But at the end of the day, to make a long story even longer, we are going to focus on making the best possible games. And in for future games, you want to take it to the next level and the next level and keep reinventing ourselves. So I want, even though I love Fleeting Iris and I have a lot of a special love for Fleeting Iris, seeing it's our first game, I want Fleeting Iris Remaster to make the regular Fleeting Iris look like absolute shit. That's our goal as developers, is to make the remake look like the old one is worst in every single aspect. That's our goal for Fleeting Iris Remake. Back to Journey Abroad. We have about, I don't know, like 35 scenes now. 20 of them are animated, the other are just about stills. And we should be able to release a version like really early on 2024. And obviously there's going to be a Ren'Py port of it. Yeah, in general, we're just going to try and make Ren'Py ports of everything, but everything else from now on, both Journey Abroad and Bloodlust, and very likely future games, unless we make a lot of money and we can just move to a better platform like Unreal Engine or some shit like that. Unless something crazy happens in the future, like no, for sure. If we were making like, because I don't give a fuck about money, I really don't. I'm more worried about being able to pay our employees decent paychecks than actually me making money. I don't care about money. I legit don't, bro. Like, the only thing that I care about is spending time with my family. That's like priority number one, and that doesn't require money. So if we were making the type of money that like Xstore was, or Dark Cookie, the guy from Summertime Saga, Summertime Saga. If we were making that amount of money, now we're talking about moving on to like Unreal Engine or some shit like that. Yeah. Making like an open world like Cyberpunk 2070 fucks. Because listen, if you're making like something like $60,000-$70,000 every month, you're making something like close to $800,000 every year. If you have 3 years of development, we're talking about over $2 million in. Okay, well, there's taxes and whatnot, yes. But let's say 1.5 million. 1.5 million to spend on people, on brilliant minds, to actually work on a game, and the best thing you can show me is like a fucking Unity game with some mediocre animation. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. If people gave me over 3 years 1.5 million budget tax-free after taxes, if I don't present you the fucking GTA 5 of porn games, you guys can lynch me in public space. Like, legit. I'm finding the best fucking possible artists. Like, I'm literally going to go online. I'm going to go on Patreon. Find the guy who's making the most money. He's like, who's everyone's favorite artist? Who is the artist making the most money with the most followers? This motherfucker? Hey, we're going to make a game and you're going to draw the heart. Says who? Says $1.5 million. That's who. Like, but I like our team. I feel like we are capable, and I feel like, especially me and you, at the most evolution over the years, because they were already at like a good point. We were starting. We had no idea what we were doing.
Their art still improved a lot.
Their art improved a lot. Their art improved a lot. We were trash. Like, early on, we made so many mistakes. We were making bro, like, characters going over walls and shit. Walking.
Well, yes, but we are also very inexperienced. So, yeah. They already drew for a living.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly my point. So, Sonia asks, what's it like working with Scarlett? And they are one of my favorite artists. Simple. That's the, if I had to resume it in one word. I don't think I am an annoying, like, you should probably ask Scarlett the same question, but I don't think I am an annoying person to work with in that aspect, in terms of like outsourcing art in a sense, because I just give her an example, I just sketch something over Photoshop, or I just go and give her like a porn scene. I just go on Google and go like doggy style, pick one. Hey Scarlett, more or less in this position, I want a scene between this character and this character. This character as this on them, like they're dressed this way. This character has the panties to this side, whatever. I try to be the most explicit I can. Scarlett sometimes doesn't even tell me like, got it, okay, yeah, I'll do that. No, Scarlett is like, scene. And she disappears, and then shows up. Hey Star, kindly check the preview. And I point out, oh yeah, I like it. Go forward with it. Or like 1 out of 10 times, I'm like, oh, can you make this a little bit bigger, this a little bit smaller, move this a little bit, whatever. Got it. I'll make the changes. And then I don't know, like 2 weeks later, she shows up. The scene is like completely painted and whatever. And I'm like, oh, awesome, Scarlett, how much do I owe you? And she goes like $300. And I'm like, nice, thank you, Scarlett. I pay, and then, oh, Scarlett, here's the next scene. I show her what I want for the next scene. She disappears. That's pretty much how it is with Scarlett. She's professional. She's professional. I can say we have like this amazing relationship that we talk. And I don't like. I have a relationship with Muku. I have a relationship with Tiger Lila. We have relationships actually. We talk. We discuss things a lot more. They have an input on the future of the game and whatnot. Scarlett is extremely professional. We were worried we will give her a scene and have to wait like months for the scenes to come out and whatnot. Nothing like that. But yeah, there's not a lot. There's not a relationship between me and Scarlett. I just like, hey Scarlett, here's the next scene. Like when she got COVID, I was like, hey man, we're worried about you. What happened? Are you okay? And they were like, hey Scarlett, I'll try. Hey Stark, I'll try to rush your scene. This happened. Like, yo, don't worry. What do you mean rush my scene? You got COVID. You got like all fucked up. Like get well soon. That's the priority right now. That's the type of relationship that we have. It's like basically human decency and professionalism. And that's about it. But I prize that a lot. I prize that more than someone that is like all nice and shit, but he's like completely unprofessional, disappears, doesn't give you deadlines, doesn't Scarlett is dependent, simple to work with, professional, and a decent human being. That's it might seem like I'm giving adjectives to an AI, but those are things that you can pride. You should be taking for granted when you work with someone, but that's like no. Like anyone that has been in any business force and anywhere as an employee or as a boss, that people aren't that simple. People are not just like simple and professional. That's not how you qualify most of the people you work with, or most of your customers, or most of, like, people are complicated. People are not simple, professional, and decent human beings. Scarlett so far has had all these qualities, so I have nothing wrong to point at Scarlett. Yeah, that's about it. That's about the extent of my relationship with her. If I was rich, I'd pay you to make the GTA of porn game. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. Okay, the OBS said that it disconnected and reconnected. I hope that you guys didn't lose anything. But yeah, Sonia, if you were like rich, no, I mean rich, like trillionaire, whatever the fuck, you might want to pay Rockstar to make the GTA of porn games. Not me. Or pay someone to make mods for actual GTA. No, but jokes aside, yeah, I would love to have that type of budget to work on a porn game, bro. Like, I will make fucking Pornhub go broke. Honestly, Scarlett Annie is probably the best choice for an artist in terms of making a game with. What made you want to go for Scarlett for Journey Abroad in the first time? Well, because she's probably the best choice for an artist in terms of making a game with. No, listen, availability was one of the things. Because I knew Scarlett Ann was outsourced work. She was available to work with. When we were looking for artists to work with, when we were asking people what was their price tag, how much budget you could work with, because as you guys probably know, we don't have a lot of money. Scarlett is not on the low end of how much things cost, especially since I have to pay her and then pay for an animator. So all the scenes usually are like at like a point of like $500-$600 every scene for Journey Abroad, and we already have 35, so you can tell how much money you've already spent in that game. It's in the tens of thousands of dollars, and we haven't made any money back from it. But then again, it's an investment in many ways. But one of the reasons why we work with Scarlett is because, one, we like our art a lot. Two, when we talked to Scarlett, again, she was simple, professional. We instantly saw someone that we could work with. Obviously, she can disappear, and now we have to find an artist that can draw similar to what she does. That will be a pain in the ass. But I don't think that's the case. Everyone that we work with, at least this far, has been incredibly professional, and Scarlett feels like someone that we will be happy to have in the team. I mean, she's an amazing artist, and we needed a Western artist. That's another thing, because Muku and Tiger Lila obviously have Eastern influences. They're Asian. Their art is not exactly like anime, but it's not exactly Western either. But it's closer to Eastern than it is to Western art. And I wanted someone to make something more cartoonish. I want the Simpsons over Dragon Ball, if that makes any sense, for Journey Abroad. We wanted to make a game to explore other fetishes while pleasing a more Western crowd. We wanted to make the game that people wanted, because people kept saying, oh man, it would be great if Fleeting Artist was an incest game. What if Ayami has a son and suddenly they do mother-son things? And all those ideas were like, okay, yeah, whatever, that's interesting, it doesn't actually fit the game. And, there's nothing wrong with giving people what they want. So we were like, listen, let's try to create a perfect storm here. This is what people want. People want an RM game where you're the main MC with a bunch of vanilla sex. Just vanilla. Just you meet girls, you woo girls, you have sex with girls. Selectable NTR that is completely missable. Incest, and there's two options, without, you can also select. And people want a different range of characters, from skinnier to blondes to Hispanic looking, ebony looking, whatever. Let's try to create something that we have a story to tell that we enjoy, and at the same time we're going to give people exactly what they want and see how it turns out. And a lot of people like Scarlet N. The game is going to be a more Western style. It's going like we will also try to we're gonna have we're gonna have it available on MV and Rempe. So we're 100% trying to make the game that the vast majority of people say, like, yeah, this is the game, even if it feels, and this was one of the problems for Isaac and I, even if the game feels somewhat generic in terms of story, which is like beta male turns into alpha male and then has sex with all the good looking women, it's as generic as the game as the story for a game gets. But that's what people want. People want to see the Zero turn into hero and have sex with all the sexy characters. The teacher, the school principal, the mean chick at the school, the childhood friend, and some people with their sisters and their mothers and their stepmothers and all that stuff. So Journey Abroad is the let's try to put together the team to make the ultimate fan service game. Because we don't want to grab the ideas that we have for Lancy Chronicles, for Bloodlust, for Night Eternal, for Crimson Dawn. We don't want to get these ideas and tamper with those games with the ideas that we already have for them. But since we already have to wait for the art, because, quality art, you have to wait for it. It's not 3D art. You don't just buy expensive computer parts and go, generate. Oh, let's switch the camera a little bit. Generate.
I mean, we are getting to a point where AI can almost do something like that, except with 6 fingers in each hand. So
There's a problem. It's extremely expensive.
Yes.
Extremely limited. Most of it is online, if not all of it. You have to do it online.
Yes.
You have to spend tokens for it. and believe it or not, a lot of the AI art that you see online, people spend hours in those to get the perfect image, and then they take it on Photoshop and shit, and they edit it there. They edit fingers out. That some of the art that you see online takes almost as much work that it will take if you actually drew to the art. AI in terms of porn is not that advanced. There's a lot of
Yes, but it's evolving.
of course,
It's evolving.
much faster than us. So yeah, obviously, AI is evolving, and a lot of good things and bad things are going to come from it. But obviously, the most excited I am for AI is for medicinal advances. That's the more excited I am. AI being able to heal people with like I don't know, metastasis on the brain,
Okay.
or perfectly conducting like an operation where it doesn't make any mistakes,
Yes.
where human hands might.
I mean, I think they already have some kind of AI. What's his name? GP doctor to give first diagnosis to people, and it already has an higher success rate than human doctors. So yeah.
Sounds about right, dude. Sounds about right. It's not like people didn't have Google before.
Yeah. Yes, but you need to know how to use Google and to have previous medical knowledge and whatever. But here's the deal.
But doctors could use Google.
AI doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be
Better than
better
us.
than humans. Yes. So
I don't need to be. I don't need to run faster than the bear. I just need to run faster than
Yes.
you. This is exactly what it is. Like if AI has a higher success rate than humans, it's already performing better than humans. So, but we're talking about actually being able to move robotic hands and
Yes.
do open heart
I'm
operations.
pretty sure that there already is an AI that does that better than us. So yeah.
Yeah, and that is amazing. But in terms of porn, it's also going to be really good. It's in a sense it's going to be bad because there's going to be
Yeah,
like
the deep fake AI and whatever. But that I think that if people start abusing that, which will definitely happen,
regulated.
we'll come to a point where there will be like so much fake, deep fake porn and whatever, that if somebody tries to do something like, hey, I have a video on you, well, you can prove that's really me or a deep fake, so nobody really cares.
I don't know, because right now it's really easy to prove if something was made by AI or not. AI cannot replicate.
Yeah, but they will probably come to a point where it will be like so.
And then it will stop being proof for anything.
Yes, exactly. So when people have like footage on you being real or not, it will like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah. Dark times.
Yes.
But think like this: with dark times comes a lot of Scarlett Johansson porn, extremely realistic looking. Yeah, AI, bro. But so far we don't have AI to that extent, so we have to work with what we have. And hopefully we will be able to make quality porn, not like realistic looking Scarlett Johansson porn, but porn and good and not illegal. Can't wait for your zombie game. Me neither. It's probably the game that I'm most excited about. It's that and Journey Abroad. In my opinion, perfect game will be a story of Melvin's youth and how he get connections with Mafia World. Start a Kickstarter for that. We can make it happen. In Bloodlust, will there be chokers, collars, leash, BDSM? Latex is confirmed, so tihi. Yes. I'm not going to go on detail on it because we're on YouTube, but yes.
I don't know why you guys have such a crush on Melvin. I swear to God, my brain doesn't compute.
Like it or not, he's our number one voted for.
Yes, I know. That's what I don't get. I mean, you guys could pick like literally any other guy in the fucking game, but no, it's Melvin. Fuck, man.
What do you think is more interesting than Melvin?
Melvin is kind of. How can I phrase this? Melvin is such a generic villain for an anti-game. It's the boss that arrests the hot girls. It's an old fat dude. Like,
and maybe that's how it works.
I don't think it's an interesting. From all our main guys, both from a writing point and also from a physically the drawing, how the character looks and whatnot in the anti-scenes and whatever, I think that Melvin is the least interesting one, but everybody seems to love Melvin for some reason. So more Melvin, I guess. A game with Melvin as a main character for some reason. I don't
Okay,
know.
so why well, okay, out of all the routes, what male character do you feel is more interesting than Melvin?
Interesting. I think, for instance, the Garcia's route has much more interesting and not so obvious points. Like,
That's the usual go-to. People instantly go Garcia.
like for instance, at first they seem like they just want to fuck Amy because, you know, swingers and whatever, and then you realize, yes, but they want kids, but they don't want Adriana to get pregnant because she's a model and all those dynamics. Then you realize that then he's actually a douchebag that physically abuses Adriana, all those dynamics. Then when they see Robert beating up those thugs, you realize that then actually he's not a thug, just in his mind. It has a lot of interesting dynamics. The character arcs on those routes, how you see, for instance, Adriana's mind changing about how she feels about Robert, all of that from a writing perspective, it's much more interesting. And also, to be frank, I mean, if I'm gonna watch an anti-scene, I prefer to see a guy like Dan than a guy like Melvin, because my god, his belly occupies like half of my screen.
I understand your perspective. One thing that I didn't expect was people to like the Euro route of the Garcias, as much as they did. People really liked the take it all home winner, Robert. Yeah, so it kind of feels like two polar opposites. The Melvin route and the Garcia's route, because sometimes, almost every time when you say, "What don't you like about Melvin?" believe it or not, like 9 out of 10 times people point out the Garcias or Clark. That's usually the
Yes.
go-to. That's usually the go-to. Oh, these are more interesting.
Yes.
Which is funny because I didn't like Clark route at all. And usually the most I wish we saw more of it route is the office route.
Also, I'm a big advocate for the Ralph route, and we'll have one on a future game, so there's that.
Ralph is a cool guy. He's going to be present in the zombie game the most. He's going to be one of the main characters. So yeah, basically all the games are going to get Rampart ports. I don't think in terms of new games we have anything else to share. If people want to ask more questions, feel free. But yeah, Journey Abroad, first thing first in to come out in 2024. As soon as we start working on it, every time we finish a patch, we're going to send it to our Rampy port guy and try to help him work on the Rampy version as well. So people that absolutely do not like RPG Maker will be able to play the games in Rampy. Journey Abroad, debatably might even look better in Rampy, because again there's that immersion idea of you walking around the town and doing all that stuff, blah blah blah. But yeah, patches were patches. Yeah, when patches. So yeah, this week we are going to be sending the Shota patch betas to everyone that is on the beta team. For the Christmas patch, it should be soon, as soon as we are done with the animation changes. We just need to put everything in place at this point.
Have you finished all the maps? I haven't seen them yet.
No.
Okay.
I need to finish one new map that is for the last new scene.
Right. Okay.
And then we're probably going to send that for testing, and hopefully very 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 soon people will get both patches at the same time. Also, I just hope that everyone that gets the beta there isn't leaks for the game, because I really want people to get
right.
Yeah, really hoping there is no leaks for the game. I might actually put give everyone a different version, because there's not a lot of, I'm not kidding. I'm gonna send everyone a different version with one small difference between all of them.
Yes.
And if someone leaks, I will know who leaked it. The motherfucker. Because I want people to experience the whole thing firsthand. And if it has bugs, I don't want the bugs to ship. We got to the point where the patches are actually being like proofread. Like there's literally no fucking typos
Yes.
or mistakes in the whole thing. We had someone go through the whole.
Yeah.
We had someone go through the whole shoulder patch on ChatGPT to make sure there were no mistakes in the game.
Okay.
Just so you have an idea, like how much we want that game to be perfect, and when we release it, it's here and we're not touching it anymore. Yeah. ChatGPT was annoying because it doesn't allow any porn in it. So a lot of it was in there, and a lot of it was done in another engine called Lude something something. I don't remember the name, but it's something that you rerun. You open mods. You open like different AIs on it, and then you have it run through the stuff. And one of them has like a Lude AI that learns about stuff and actually is able to write entire scenes. It's obviously feels very mechanic and whatnot. Doesn't feel like anything that I would write, or most people, to be honest. It also uses words that only like politicians use. I don't think we can. Yeah, I won't leak it unless someone pays me 3 million. Then I'll give it to you guys to make the GTA game. But if someone gives you 3 million, tell them to give it to me. I'll leak the game today. I'll leak the game today, bro. Listen, for 3 million, I'll give them a physical copy. I'll deliver it to their doorstep myself. If we had 3 million, dude, I would probably just close Patreon and subscribe, sorry.
Yes.
And just start working on the games and release like one time. No, because then people wouldn't be able to follow the.
People like to participate in polls and whatnot.
Yeah, people like to participate in the direction of the games. Yes. Like Fleeting Eyes was definitely one of the games where we had it the most. A lot of scenes, a lot of dialogue, a lot of routes are in the game because people voted for them. From dance to hairstyles to air colors to whatever the fuck it was, there's a lot of stuff there is in Fleeting Hours because the community voted that way. I mean, there's a lot of Melvin scenes because the community voted that way. Even though now on the remake we are going to completely rework how the Melvin route works, and some scenes are going to show up. Like, for instance, for the scenes where Ayame actually gets it. Okay, so later on Melvin route, I don't know where it is, but I feel like it's when Armand shows up for the first time, where you split the game between the pub mistress route or the loyal route. Now we are going to split it like way earlier, because I don't like some of the scenes being on the pad where Ayame actually falls in love with Melvin, like the scenes, like the early scenes with all the guys and whatnot. So basically, I feel like the tipping point or the deciding point on the remake, in which Ayame is going to decide to be like more loyal to Melvin or like turn on him, is if she actually has sex with Matt or not.
Okay.
Because if she has sex with Matt, Melvin is going to unleash the goons on her, and that's going to start the pub mistress route.
Okay.
And if she decides not to have sex with Matt and still like loyal to Melvin and whatnot, then we will have like a Melvin route. And that one actually is the one that will probably play the best into the Christmas patch. Because for the Christmas patch, Ayame has some sort of like Electra. Is it Oedipus complex or Electra complex? Whatever. It's a complex for older people. So basically, at some point during the patch, Arthur is going to try to convince Ayame to have sex with Dan, so that it can tell Adriana to go in the inner room, and she's going to catch Ayame having sex with Dan, and she's going to be mad, which is going to open ways for her to open her legs for Arthur. But Ayame is going to feel reluctant towards it, because for that patch, apparently Ayame is only having sex with Arthur and Melvin, because she has a sort of like Oedipus complex. That's kind of how the Christmas patch plays out. I like the scenes. I like the scenes a lot. I'm really excited to do this, and especially for the people that wanted to see more Evelyn, and just in general the animations and whatnot. I feel like it's gonna be like really cool. Oh shit! I just realized something. Our artist said that between someday and someday in December it wouldn't be open for animations, so I feel like Tiger Lila said she was going to be able to release the last scene for me today, and I really hope she does, because I want to send it to animation like right away. Because I know between some days in December he's not.
It's probably going to take some holidays.
He's going to go on holidays, and I don't know if it's the entirety of December. If it is, I won't be able to animate the last scene, which is going to be ass. I might like be able to like super pretty please him, but I don't know. I'll have to check. I'll really have to check, like right after the podcast. What else? I don't think there's anything else that we missed talking about.
Dude, we've been talking for 2 hours. What else can be left?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's anything else that we need to
get some water, bro.
Just go and get some water. I mean,
we are finishing.
Should I have a billion waters around the house?
Yeah, thanks.
So. What else? I feel like people know exactly what's coming out of Fleeting Hours. Dude, I'm at this point. I'm actually positive it might come out this year. I have no idea. This is not me like going promising shit, because I have no idea. But apparently he's already doing UI work, and is extremely workaholic. So I don't know, man. I
mean, considering when did he start it?
Dude, like a month and a half ago.
He has to be. Like he has to be.
It's fucking crazy. Like, he only needed some help, like, trying to figure out some scripts and whatnot. But other than that, like, damn. Sonian says that we need to do another interview after the patches. Yeah, we can do one somewhere in January. Let's get the other.
I'll probably have some days off the other work in January.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because I have. I was supposed to have some days off between Christmas and New Year's, but because of some corporate shit that I'm not allowed to say in this podcast, I'll not have those days off, so the company has to give me the days off in January.
Welcome to the corporate world. How does it feel, bro?
No, but it's actually a funny story. I'll tell you after.
So yeah, Isaac is learning the real world of real jobs where people fuck you in the ass for no reason. It's always, no, bro, you don't understand. In normal conditions, we wouldn't fuck you over, but something bad happened and we have to fuck you over.
It's actually something bad will happen. It's just not me. I'll just have to change my holidays, like instead of this month, next month. So it's like, who the fuck cares? But somebody will get royally fucked because of this. So it's not me. So I don't give a fuck.
So yeah, in terms of games. I feel like I already explained. A lot of people are excited for the Renpai stuff. I understand why. I'm also excited to try it, but my focus is more obviously in releasing the Christmas patch on time and the Shota patch on time. So we'll see. I hate being dependent on third parties to be able to release stuff. Because it you know, but I also don't like to do. This is the thing, like. When we were working like hardcore, like releasing patches every month, it also felt like at some point that that like the community was cracking the whip on me, and then I was grabbing the whip and I was cracking the whip on Muko and Lila, and they were always sick and feeling depressed and whatever because, you know, they were being overworked, because we were being overworked, because we were like, hey, but in the future, you know, and if I don't like it, I'm obviously not going to do the same thing to other people. But having to depend on third parties is always bad, because the same way that we don't like people to be unrealistic and cracking the whip on us, I also don't want to go and crack the whip on other people. So being dependent on scripters, porting, music, animations, whatever the fuck it is, it sucks because I'm the one that I always have to like show my face and be like, hey guys, it's still not ready. But I also don't feel well with trying to force people to do stuff when I know they are putting in work, and when I know that quality takes time. And that was one of my fears with Scarlet N. Like, okay, I know you have quality, but if you release a scene like every 2 months, that's not going to be doable. I cannot push you into working faster. I just have to accept what are your conditions. And when working with scripters, when working with everything else, we try to do it as fast as we can, but everyone in our team has like a certain quality. We have 2 animators. One of them is obviously far better than the other. The one that is better obviously charges a lot more, but just because it charges more, I'm not going to use the one that charges less more often. We are striving for quality over quantity. And it's even worse because there's like family ties between one of the animators. I should favor that one, but I don't. I'm always going to favor quantity because she's like first degree cousin of my brother-in-law.
Okay.
She's like family. She's like, but family is one thing and work is another thing. And obviously, we're going to favor the person that does the best job, even if they take longer and charge more. But you're always dependent. Like, once we start working with a lot of people, your script guy can take a certain amount of time. Your sprites guy might take a certain amount of time. Your animator guy might take some amount of time, and your CG artist might take some amount of time. And shit will happen. People will get sick. Like right now, Muku can't even fucking smell shit. He got hit by COVID like really hard. Like
Again?
Like a week ago.
Jesus.
Dude, like people are getting COVID like every 2-3 months. And they are hit on, like, I got COVID like twice this year.
Okay.
One of them got me fucked up. Like fucked up, like real talk fucked up. Muku got COVID. Penny had to nurse him. Tiger Lila.
Yes.
Had to nurse him because he got fucked. Like, he got one of those where your sense of smell and taste go away like entirely.
That luckily never happened to me.
And he hasn't. How long does it take for this thing to happen? 100% this is Advent. 100%, bro. I don't know who Sigin 4 is. That's Advent. That has to be the Advent. But jokes aside, you gotta give people time to do whatever the fuck they have to do. And luckily our team has a lot of quality, but they are also very fast. Like Scarlet went away for a month. She stopped talking to everyone. People on her Discord were like super like worried. I was worried because she didn't reply to me for like a month. Guess what happened?
What happened?
COVID. She got fucked up like severely by COVID. Like some people get like serious complications over COVID.
Yeah, I know.
Mine was bad, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna die bad. I think Muku last time got hit like really bad, and Scarlet disappeared for a month. I was like legitimately fucking worried. And then people get the generic stuff. People get depressed. People get anxiety. People need to step away from their jobs for a while. And when you are working with a lot of people, and you don't have a company where you have like 30 people doing the same job, so if one disappears, it's like, oh, look, we are losing 3% of our speed. No, like, we're working with people. If they don't do that job, no one is going to do their job. Like, we don't have that type of teams. So when someone gets COVID, when someone needs some time off work, when someone gets depressed, when someone needs to spend time with their family, whatever it is, it's 2023, we need to be more human. And we are always going to be dependent on other people's deadlines and other people's dates and whatnot. But what I can always promise you is, obviously, we're going to be realistic on terms of like deliveries, and when the time is over and when our release dates are met, and when we actually release our games, it's going to be worth all the wait, because shit, we've been putting a lot of work time in our games in all sorts of areas, from map making to music to the art to the animations to everything. It's completely different from what we did when we started working on Fleeting Hours for the first time. and hopefully, next year.
This bitch was on the other show. Now it's on this show on the same day.
Hopefully, next year, we are looking back on a year with amazing anti, a lot of good releases, and we can look back and say, "Oh man, we were so bad last year." I hopefully feel like I haven't felt that way in a long time. Especially once I started working on the shoulder patch and the Christmas set and whatnot. Everything that I've worked on, I can look at it and go, man, I'm so proud of what we did here. Like, I wouldn't change a thing. Could it be a little bit better? Yeah, sure, it could be a little bit better. I haven't felt like I had a major breakthrough on the quality of our stuff in a long time. I just have a lot of looking at the stuff that I wrote and look like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, who paid me to write the Bible on a fucking anti-scene? The last one is just so big, it's fucking ridiculous. Right now, I don't see a lot of margin for improvement. I just don't. Like, realistically, when we started working on Fleeting Eyes, we were like, dude, there's so much stuff that we need to learn how to make. Right now, personally, I don't know. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels like that way. How do you feel about that?
About what can we improve on Fleeting Aries in general, or
no, just on us on developing in general.
On developing, okay. I mean, you already like are very good at writing and coordinating 4 different fucking teams and catching details on every kind of work, from the sound to the images to the maps to the code to the whatever that nobody else can see for some reason. I don't know, man. If you improve like anymore, just fire your ultimate and do the game alone. Like, fuck, man. Yeah, I mean, all the things we did on Fleeting Aries, I in terms of code, I now can do pretty much with my eyes closed. Although we have planned to do some things for Bloodlust that I never worked on before. I mean, seriously.
The battle system, correct, right?
Because of the balance in the battle system and whatnot. So I'll have to improve on that. But that's a positive, right? I mean, I learned all this shit. Now I'm gonna learn some more shit. So I'm gonna be like good at more different stuff. So yeah, that's a positive. Like in my boo, that's the main thing.
I didn't even think about that. But Isaac, for the love of God, and because of
this, I know.
Because
you don't need to say. I know.
This is on personal experience. This is on personal experience.
We know
from someone that saw what you did with the Halloween.
I'm sorry. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Just we need to add different difficulties to the game. Because something that is fun to you,
I know, I got it,
right? Or do that and just add a button like automatically I win button. That can be one of the things. But if we go like Persona Nocturne, if you're going to go Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne,
we can do that. This is not. Yeah, I was in the wrong headspace when I first started doing. That was the first Halloween patch. I was trying to make the game like really challenging, and that's not what people want from this game. And I didn't thought like that when I started. And then Stark explained it to me. It was like, dude, you are not working on Nocturne, okay? This is not the Nocturne of anti games. People don't want that. That's not your job. Fucking stop! and I got it.
No, some of the mini games, the mini games still to this day, are. I'm at fault for one of them. The fucking invisible walls labyrinth.
That's kind of gay,
bro. It's yeah. Some people get extremely frustrated.
Yeah, I get it. Although, in our defense, I have one thing to say. When we add those fantastic ideas, we also add the idea to, at some points in the Halloween mention stuff, whatever, to add hints and some things that the player could optionally get if they knew how to, that would help them go through the hardest puzzles much more easily. But
that one has one.
We were getting pressed on time, and a lot of those things that were optional were scrapped at last minute. Yeah. And I think that the Halloween minigame would play better if we had that option for players. So that was that.
Also, like, a lot of times we try not to judge people, but it's real hard to underestimate people when some of the mini games are like extremely basic and
Man, those 3 buttons in the Chloe mini game.
oh my god,
Everybody sometimes complains that they can't get the code of the 3 buttons. I just wanna
dude, doesn't
tell those people to like not tie their own shoes. Like,
doesn't that mini game have like 6 possible combinations or something like that?
It's 8. It's like 2 times 2 times 2. It's 8.
There you go. 8 possible combinations.
Yes.
And people have, bro, I cannot finish this. And there's somewhere a clue. There's a clue somewhere. There's a paper on the floor somewhere that tells you what the code is. And people just 8 combinations, and people go crazy that they cannot open the door. The one with hope, where the passcode is hope, where you just have to go find the shiny objects, and then here's the 4-letter word. It has an H, a no, a P, and a E.
No, they also have numbers. Like H is 1, it's the first letter, and O as a 2. Remember that part? Yeah, you have a number next to the letter.
That tells
in each int. Yes.
And then and literally tells them the position of the letters. And then there's a hint that is like, abandon something. All you who enter here.
Yeah, the poem by Virgil, I think.
Yes.
Or it's Dante.
From Dante's Inferno.
It's Dante.
No, it's Virgil.
It's from Dante's Inferno, but it's Virgil that says that. Okay,
exactly.
Sure.
It has a bunch of hints. A lot of people get stuck there. So, I mean, and obviously there's going to be a lot of people that want to lose on purpose.
Yeah, people can think when their blood is not on their brain, so there's that.
But at the end of the day, we need to consider that while the Halloween patch was super fun for us, some people just don't like it, and opinions, you need to respect them. It's subjective.
Absolutely.
It's subjective. The same way you don't love Melvin's route, but some people do.
Yes.
I respect that. There will be stuff that we won't work on, like scat, water sports, whatever it is, that we just don't like and we don't feel comfortable working on. But yeah. Also, to finish off before we go, because it's probably like super fucking late at this point, and I don't want to take any more of you guys' time, even though this is like us trying to sign off for the rest of the year and spend some time with you guys, because you guys, a lot of you I know missed the podcast. If we also make GTA of porn game, we actually have to work on the mini games that we promised for Floating Ares, that we might actually just add on the remake, which might slow down Bloodlust a little bit because it's the same CG team. But if we find someone else that can paint in like Tiger Lila style, or if we manage to have AI be able to replicate the coloring style of Tiger Lila, that will help tremendously. Where we just need to get Muku to draw the outlines, maybe even get Tiger Lila to start drawing just the outlines.
Yes.
And then get AI to start coloring in their style. That will already help tremendously. So only the future can tell. But we want to work on the continuation of the Armand route, aka the office route. We 100% want to keep working on the Jack route that we had planned. But we also want to work on some of the least favorite options that we made, which is work on the farm mini game, where Ayame goes to the farm and there's get acquainted with a lot of the animals there, which the bestiality fans are fans of. And that's one of the reasons why we have to pace ourselves. I'm pushing 39, like close. Isaac at this point is like 32?
Yes.
Isaac is 32. Some people in our team are over 40. And we want to, before we die, we want to give you guys, not even gonna mention like the rampant ports of each of all of these games, but we want to give you guys Bloodlust, Nine Eternal, Crimson Dawn, a named game that is the follow-up of all these games, Fleeting Iris 2, Fleeting Iris 3, Fleeting Iris Remake with all the DLCs that we promised, Journey Abroad, and maybe Journey Abroad 2. If we don't pace ourselves, mentally and physically, you're gonna need another team to finish these games. because we're gonna have mental breakdowns. Like, we have games planned for the next 10 years. And I know a lot of you are going to be alongside us during the process. And I know we're gonna miss some of you for many reasons. Morals, because you found Jesus, because your wife doesn't like that you watch porn. Whatever the reasons might be. But do remember that we are humans, and if we don't pace ourselves, we won't be able to finish everything that we need to work on. And we so wanted to leave that as our legacy, because we have so many amazing stories to tell, and so much good hentai to write. At the end of the day, we just want people to be a little more patient with us, because we just want to make quality games. We want to do the same sentiment that people had in the 90s. We want to do something for the creativity, for the passion, because we want to be different, because we want to make something people enjoy, regardless of the money, regardless of the ideologies, regardless of any agenda that people try to push. We just want to make hentai for the sake of making hentai. We just want to make good games for the sake of making good games. No underlying objectives, no hidden agenda, none of that bullshit. So all we ask is a little bit of patience, and I promise you that we will lead this ship home, and a lot of good games will be released. That's all. I think from our part is everything. If you guys don't have more questions, as for us, we hope to have amazing news at the end of the year for you guys, like a lot of them, before the end of the year. I would love to release a lot of stuff. That will be really great. We'll see. Hopefully. And other than that, we are in that time of the year where people try a little extra to be nicer and kinder to others. So the only thing that I wish for you guys is a lot of health and a lot of love to spend with the ones you love the most, your families, your friends, whatever means anything to you. And for us, we will try to make your days just a little bit better and just a little bit more bearable, with a lot of quality hentai and a lot more stories to be told from Miami and all our other male main characters that you guys helped create. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this year out of hentai, all the previews, all the stuff that we released. And I hope at the end of the year you guys are going to enjoy it even more, and we can go for a fresh 2024 with a bunch of new games, and that they make all the other games that we have released so far look like shit. From us here at Devon Studios, that is all. I'm gonna let Isaac do his own goodbye for the rest of the year.
Goodbye for the rest of the year. Also, happy holidays, everyone.
See, it wasn't just a bye, everyone. And as for me, I missed these little tidbits. This podcast, even though I did an interview not too long ago, and I did a developed cast not too long ago before that. But yeah, the spirit of secrecy, it has good points and it has bad points, and one of them is that we are not releasing a podcast every 1 or 2 weeks. But it's going to be worth it when all the games get released. We're just trying to create a little bit of hype, and hopefully it's going to be worth it. And now I gotta go talk to people because I need to make sure that
that the games actually come out.
Because I need to make sure that the last scene can be actually animated. So time for me to go do some business stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I really do. It was fun seeing a lot of you that I didn't see in a long time. And yeah, hopefully we will have a lot more podcasts and a lot more. And you guys get tired of my voice with all the development casts every day on Picarto in 2024. But yeah, at least it will give you a lot of people an idea of all the tasks and all the work that goes into making a game. I definitely I 100% feel like a lot of people that actually spend some of the time checking on us because we're going to be streaming all of our work. And obviously it's going to be like just from my perspective, because then you will have Isaac's perspective, you will have all the drawing perspective, the scripters, the sprite artists and whatever, and you can actually tell how much work goes into making a game. But other than that, I just want to say that even though it's obvious, and I know it's obvious because I'm one of those I'm one of those people that wears their art on their sleeve, and I'm really transparent when it comes to this. I am so appreciative of all of you, not just because of you guys have been following us, but on the quality that you have been following us. Like, you guys have no problem telling us when we fail, when something is not as good as it should be. But I know that you guys, most of you are legitimately concerned, and you legitimately love this game that we made. And obviously there will always be people that look at it from a negative light. But not everything is for everyone. Not all the games are going to be good games for everyone. But the people that follow us make us feel very appreciated, and make us want to work on our games more and more each day with all the quality that you guys deserve. Because if we were making the game for a faceless crowd, we will definitely not be able to make the games in the qualities of the games that we do. If we have the quality that we have nowadays, it's because of each and every single one of you that spends their time giving us feedback on our Discord, interacting with us on Discord, Twitter, whatever it is. Can we even call it Twitter nowadays? Like, what the fuck?
It's sex, I guess.
It's sex. It's sex.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Sex.com.
Elon Musk. When I first heard about Elon, I was like, oh, this guy's like really smart and he's a really good guy. And every time I heard news about him in any way, shape, or form, he looks more like an fucking teenager edgelord. I don't know, man.
Yeah, teenager edgelord sounds about right.
I don't know what the fuck is going on through his mind, dude. I don't
It's
know.
easy. He's a big troll and he has a lot of money. Now add 1+1 and
Yes.
That's
I
yeah.
don't know.
Regardless of that, we all at Evan Studios and like, even when Muku when we releases something that is good, the first thing that Muku says is like, oh man, I really wish people are going to enjoy that. Like, it doesn't even feel like, oh yay, I accomplished my job, now I get a few days off. No, the only thing he thinks like, oh man, I really hope people enjoy that. He's such a kind soul. He's the type of person, like, if people enjoy that, it will make me very happy.
Yes.
Muku gets happy from making people happy. And every time he draws art, when people criticize it, he tries to do better, but it legitimately feels hurt when people don't like his art, or when people point out mistakes or whatever, because he's the type of person that tries to do better just for the sake of others, just for others to appreciate it more. And we really are appreciative. Like, we are, even though we are not a huge community, we are really appreciative of the small nucleus that we have been able to create around something as simple as an entire game. And that's pretty much all that we ask for the future, is that we can keep you guys around, and that we keep not defrauding your expectations and making good in time for you guys to enjoy. That's the only reason we've been able to make the games that we've made. It's because you guys make us want to be better and make better games, instead of just a faceless crowd where we just sell the game at the end of the year in Steam or DLSide or whatever it may be. And the only interaction is we make games and you guys pay us money, and we just ignore reviews, and that's it. Being able to interact with you guys on a regular basis has definitely humbled me in many ways, and it has definitely improved my ability to make games in many ways. So for that, I cannot say enough thank you for all the patience, all the love you guys have shown us. I'm everyone in the team. I know I can speak for everyone when I say we are really appreciative of you all, and we will continue working on amazing entire games to deliver to you guys. Thank you so much. I wish you guys the best holidays possible, with all the good fortune that you can have, health above all, and love. I'll see you guys very soon. And happy Christmas, everyone, or Kwanzaa, or whatever you celebrate. Take care, guys.
Bye, everyone.